The Mahogany Project presents I Just Want to Tell Stories, hosted by Joe Anderson Jr., powered by the South Congress Podcast Network.
All right, everyone, welcome to episode 4 of I Just Want to Tell Stories. My name is Joe Anderson from the Mahogany Project. Today's guest is good Judy of mine, a sister of mine, someone I can always kiki with in the club.
Always.
Eric Edmondson.
Hey.
What's the name of your blog? The L blog, right? No.
The L Code.
The L Code. The L Code. And then the podcast with you and Tariq is...
Yes, What Works for Us.
What Works for Us. Okay. So, before we get started into everything that you do as a creative, I do have a question. Tell the folks who are listening or watching how we met. I do not remember.
We
True
met...
tea.
Okay, so the first time I remember us, really meeting... That wasn't even the first time we met. First time I remember being around you for a longer period of time, we was at what was that? What's that name of that park? Graves Park or what that park?
Givens.
Givens Park.
Oh, Givens Park. Okay.
Givens Park.
Was it for Sundays in the park?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
We had definitely met before then.
We had met before then, but I think that was the time we actually sat. That's the time we actually sat and we talked and that's when we connected.
Okay.
That's the first time we had met before, probably some event or something.
Just seeing each other high and by, nice to meet you, whatever.
Thing,
yeah.
Right, but that was the day we connected. It was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so you are from Detroit.
Yes.
From that D. What was it like growing up in Detroit?
Growing up in Detroit, to me, honestly, it was looking back at it, people have all this bad stuff to say about Detroit, but it was actually fun growing up in Detroit. Some of my best childhood memories, I can just go back to just growing up, being a kid in the inner city of Detroit. It was just really, I never really felt unsafe.
Yeah.
Now looking back, I was like, oh no, it was unsafe. It was unsafe. But I never felt that way being there. I guess, you live in certain places, you get used to the environment, you know what to do, so
Yeah.
It was cool though growing up in Detroit. It wasn't, I always did feel like the city, there was something missing.
Yeah.
I always felt like something's missing here. It's something I'm not getting here. But
what was the first age that you started having those thoughts?
When I started, I'll say maybe 12, 13 when I was first introduced to when I was first introduced to my sister, or sister in my head, Lil Kim,
Okay.
it was over. I'm like, oh, girl, something missing. I'm not getting what she's talking about here. I don't know if I'm gonna get it here. So that's when you just start watching. I start watching a lot of TV and you see certain stuff. I used to be obsessed. I used to think I was gonna move to Miami. That was my end destination. I had saw something special when I was 12 about Miami.
I see the mansions, the Versace.
I'm out. I was like, I'm going to Miami. I'm in Miami. So
private jets and everything.
Right.
Where am I back?
Right. Okay. So I was like, okay, no, I'm definitely.
You can come meet me, bitch.
Right. Okay. That's what everybody. You say no. I'm moving. I'm moving to Miami. So So that's when I started feeling like, okay, there's something missing here at 12, 13.
Okay. So tell me about your family. Are you an only child?
I am an only child.
You are an only child.
Yes.
And did you grow up with mom, grandmother, someone else? Or
I grew up with my mom, but my aunt, she pretty much was the babysitter of me and my cousins. So, and I always say I'm an only child, but I had part-time brothers and sisters because
when you wanted them.
Well, we were together almost every day.
Oh, wow.
My aunt watched us after school, so it was me and my cousin Emil, which was her son, and then my two other cousins, DeAndre and Jay. We all was together every day, 5 days a week. So I felt like I had
thieves. I felt like y'all got into some trouble. No.
No, we didn't because this was the setup. It was a setup because I was with my cousin Deandra. Of course, I was with the girl. And my cousin Amel was with Jay, so they would do their thing, and me and Deandra would do our thing. So I was over there playing Barbies and stuff with her and doing stuff with her, and then my cousin Amel was with them. So they was kind of like we were in the same household, but we were doing different things with So, but they was still we all still like part-time brothers and sisters. I would say.
So you were able to get kind of both experiences of growing up as an only child, but also growing up with siblings in some capacity.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you ever like officially come out to your family, or
I never officially told anybody outside of my mom that that's I'm gay, but I felt like they should just make the assumption.
Yeah.
Maybe
this one you just know.
Yeah, I was like, you really should just know. Like, I mean, well, it's funny because my granddaddy one day had a conversation with me. My mom was like, well, your granddaddy wants to talk to you. I'm like, okay. So he just sat down with me, he older guy, he was just like, he was like, you never brought a girl around. So, I know what's going on. I'm like, okay. I love you. You're my grandson. Okay, it was very simple. So that was the only one was like a confrontation. Everybody else is kind of like, it's just kind of an unspoken thing. We never really talked about it. Maybe my cousin Deandra, me and her talking about it, and me and her talked about, me and people I'm dating. We and her have but she and I, we've always had this bond. So, yeah, but my mom and granddaddy's the only people I actually had a conversation with about it.
So your cousin Deandra is really close to you?
We're we don't talk like we maybe should, but I think when we come together, it's one of the situations we get together, somebody's like...
Yeah. You fall right back into it.
It.
Okay, so what are 3 words that she would say to describe you growing up as a child?
Oh my God, that's a good question. I don't know how she...
Girl, thank you.
Right. I don't know how she would describe me.
3 words. Come on, girl.
3 words. I would say... maybe a friend. We were definitely good friends.
Yeah.
I would say somewhat, maybe a little bit, I would say protective a little bit. Because there was times where, when she was a baby, she'd be like, somebody do something, I'm going to tell Eric. Like, so I guess maybe a protective a little bit. And kind of, maybe reserved a little bit. Me and her had a relationship, but everybody else.
You still kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're in the club, you are the one that's watching. You kick in a little bit, but you watching, seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
You catch all the tea.
I'm very observant.
So you are really big into fashion.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the first fashion magazine that you picked up?
Well, that's another good question. I think it was a cliche one. It was Vogue.
Okay.
It was.
What was it about Vogue that drew you into it? Beyond just look, I go to the supermarket, I look at Vogue, I'm looking like, oh, okay, that's cute, I'm putting it back down.
Right.
I think someone who's into fashion, they look at Vogue, they see something different than what I see.
Yeah.
So what was it, in any magazine really, but what was it about seeing those magazines that drew you in more or deeper than I would want to be in?
I think for me, well, for one, on top of me being into fashion, I'm obsessed. I have a slight obsession, maybe not so much with the newer models, but with older supermodels, I have a slight obsession when I'm obsessed with them. Like, I literally go on the Instagram pages and be looking at stuff. I see pictures. I go to pages where all these fan pages where they have these old things that they runway shows and stuff. I live for all that. So I think seeing the models and then seeing the clothes and then just seeing, I do like to see the different fashion houses, what they're, because normally all their answers in the front of the magazine. So I do like to see the stories they're telling. I try to figure out what story are they telling with these fashions, because it's they're telling a story. They're inspired by something. So it's I look to see what they're inspired by, kind of sort of, and then it's okay, I see it, and then just I kind of try to pick up on the colors they're using and just see. I try to see trending things, things I'm seeing over and over and over again, oh, okay, this is a thing, that type of stuff. So I guess I assess what the designers are doing deeper than just on surface level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up being into fashion, wanting to know these stories? Was it something where you had access to it all the time? Did you go in your closet and create things? Did you go into other people's closets and get stuff from theirs to incorporate it into your everyday wear? What was it like growing up as a creative in fashion?
I think it actually me being me being into fashion, actually, I think it was something that came later, actually, because I was when I was a teenager. I mean, I was into fashion and music and all that kind of stuff, but even hair. At one point, I thought I was gonna do hair.
Okay, girl.
So, but I first thought when I was in high school I'm gonna be an engineer because I was like, oh, I like cars and all that kind of stuff. I had it all wrong, but I was like, I hate math, I hate science, so that's just not no. So I was like, no. So I think, but what I was saying about Miami, I think what got me at first was it was just me being. I thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like a personal stylist. Because they was like, you shop for them. I was like, oh, I get to shop. I love that. Like,
sign me up.
Sign me up. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to Miami and just shop for a living. That's what I'm gonna do. But then I realized you needed more than that, and I noticed, clothes. And then too, again, like I have like my love for my sister Lil Kim, seeing her and just how even her raps. She would talk about all these different fashion houses and all this kind of stuff, and I would be intrigued. I'm like, oh, what is she talking about? Yeah. Who is this name? Because she would name people. I'm like, who is that? And I would go look, and I'm like, oh. But I didn't have access to it. I would say I didn't have access to it, but my mom used to work. My mom worked at like Lauren Taylor for like 17 years. So I would go to sometimes after like my aunt, she used to watch me, so she would take me we would go to the mall, and she would take me up there, and I would just hang out until she got off. So that was an asset to fashion that I always had, just being in the Lord & Taylor. I would just be in Lord & Taylor, get to walk around and see stuff and see I would see these designers and stuff on the rack and stuff like that. Yeah. So that was kind of a way for me to have access to, but not directly. So I can just kind of look at it, but and see the price tags. Oh, okay.
Okay.
See,
that's cute.
Right, that's cute. Right. Yeah. So that was kind of my exposure to it, but that I didn't really. I never really been a person to go in somebody's closet and put looks and stuff. I'm not pushy like that. Yeah. Like I feel like someone come to ask me, I'll tell them. But yeah, that was like my access to it, kind of, sort of. And music. I looked at people in music, Mary J. Blige, all them, how they wore fashion. That was how I would see it and get knowledge of it and that kind of stuff.
So, what voice do you try to tell within your own fashion? Like, what's the story that you want to tell, or is it different each day?
Oh, that's a good question. For me, I think it can change. It's just how I feel for the day. For me, it could be whatever look I'm trying to get for that. I guess. I don't right now I'm kind of stuck on the certain colors, we're black and white all the time. So
come on, Janelle Monáe.
Okay, so I don't really, I think with that, I guess I do like the neutral, just being neutral, but it just changes. Yeah. It depends on wherever I'm going or what I'm trying to feel. It's okay, this looks cute, this is how I'm feeling, this works for me, I'm gonna do this. I can't really say I'm trying to tell too many stories. I just, I do like to be, I like being as cute and sexy as possible at all times. At least I try to.
Okay. Not trying, you doing it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay. So, let's say, you were in Detroit until what age?
Oh, I was in Michigan. I would say Michigan because I wasn't in Detroit my latter years. Okay. When I was in my early 20s, I pretty much moved out of Detroit and went to the suburbs. And then I was, from 21 to 30, I was in suburbs or Metro Detroit.
Okay.
So I pretty much left Detroit I was 18. I moved out of Detroit, but I mean, I was, if you want to just say Michigan, I was there until I was 30.
So you are in Detroit. Let's say you went to Detroit at 25, 26. What would be the fashions that would be present at the time? So what was that? What year would that be?
25, 26, what was that, 2010?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you saw around that time that you remember?
2010 fashions in Detroit. It was still...
And I guess even now, what is the story of Detroit, fashion-wise?
Detroit is, it's very urban.
Yeah.
I mean, we know this. It's very urban. It's very, what I want to say, a 2 Chainz video, that type of thing. a Future, that's how the guys step out. The guys in Detroit, I'll say, or even the females, I will say, they do dress, but they dress urban. So I'm pretty sure right now, I mean, the girls is Fashion Nova. I'm pretty sure they all that's Fashion Nova. You know what I'm saying? Or even looking at people that, that I follow in Detroit now, that's what it looks like they're wearing. They're wearing Fashion Nova, they're wearing the fast fashions.
Right.
They're staying on trend with the, the whole neon thing, anything that that they might see in that these like Instagram and stuff, the influencers and all the girls like that, they follow that kind of stuff. And then the guys, they just wear
what's in trend now, kind of.
Pretty much they're trendy and what's where.
And was that always the same? So if we go back to like 2010, 2005 in Detroit, it's been very consistent in terms of like
they follow those trends, follow urban like trends. Yeah, anything that you see, like the what is it now? People wearing like Champions and stuff like that out, like jogging suits and stuff like that. So stuff like that. So anything that's on trend, anything you see like in a video, a music video, or urban music video, something like that, you can go to trend and pretty much see the same thing.
What is one trend? You talking about Champion? I remember wearing that stuff in like the 90s, the windbreakers and stuff like that. Girl, even starter jackets. I had a Miami Dolphins one. Didn't even like football like that, bitch. And I don't even know why I like that. And when you talk about Miami, I don't even know why I wanted a Miami Dolphins starter jacket, but I got one, bitch, and I was rocking it. And on the first day of school back after Christmas, bitch, I was wearing that. I was like, boom.
Right. Okay.
A new cut, a new color, a new style, a new jacket, bitch.
Right. Okay.
Couldn't tell me nothing. I was wearing that even in the summer, bitch. I was like, I am gonna get this wear. I'm gonna get it out until the next school year. Girl was burning out of sweat. Hot as hell. After I took off that jacket, it was sweat all dripping. Yes, girl. But I was like,
you gotta get rid of that.
We have a good run. We have a good run, bitch. So, what are some trends or a trend that is not back yet? Because fashion repeats. That you want to see come back.
Good question. What is a trend from back in the day that I want to see that has not come back? Off the top of my head, what can I think? You know what I used to like back in the day?
What?
It's kind of ghetto, but remember when people I like denim. So remember when people used to wear like the colored like denim, like they would wear the colored like gas, like pink, oranges, yellows, and they would have the jacket and the jeans and have like that's something I wouldn't mind. I can go with that.
Oh my God, were you into the denim suits, man? Like the jacket and then the pants.
Oh my God, I had one, and oh my God, back before I transitioned into my current shoes, and I was wearing like all the urban Sean Johns.
Girl, come on now, Rockaware.
Girl, I was
wearing girl, Echo.
I was wearing all the urban shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I had a Sean John one that was too freaking big. It was like an extra large, and I was smaller than I am now. So I'm like, this thing just swallowed me. But I would wear it all the time.
Not in that way, you nasty listeners.
No, not that way. In my belt, I used to have to when I would tie my belt to, the pants would have it would literally buckling over because they were so big. But I had to have it because I'm like, well, this is in, so I have to have the Sean John jean outfit. So no.
I tried to go find a jean outfit and bitch could not find one. Because I went, trends come and then sometimes you're like, oh, I don't really like it. But then everybody get it. So you're like, okay, now I kind of like it. I was on that part.
Okay.
Girl, I tried to go during Christmas. So everybody was sold out.
Yeah.
Everybody was sold out.
Yeah, no, that's the worst time to try to get. That's the worst time.
So I think it was for family pictures too.
Oh.
With at the time my mom was married, so me, my brother, and my stepsisters. And I was the last one they could not find one for. We found the pants, but then the jacket didn't. We found the jacket and the pants. Yeah. So essentially we just wore some jeans and I think a polo shirt.
That works.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some fashion houses that you look at that are very consistent in branding that you really like?
Balmain.
Oh.
I love him. I mean, for one, he likes the same color palettes as myself and Janelle Monáe. So he's a lot of white, and I love it. Alexander Vauthier is another one. I think he comes out with stuff that, to me, you just go to the club. I'm like, this is just his runway. His fashion shows look like the girls look like they at a club. It's like, bitch. I'm like, bitch, you go to the club, bitch, you be hot as fuck. I love his fashion show. I love his fashion shows. Of course, we can go, and then just one old school one, Versace. I think Versace is just always forever. Versace will forever be sexy. It's just a sexy fashion house. It can't be anything else, I don't think.
So, the L Code, let's talk about that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what made you want to start it?
The L Code came actually kind of backwards. I was thinking about it the other day because, I'm still...
I'm glad you were thinking about it.
Because it came backwards. Because really, first, and I'm still going to do it, but ultimately, I'm like, I'm going to be a personal stylist. But I was just, getting all my ducks in a row, trying to get, find out, the business side of things. So I was like, okay, yeah, I can put outfits together, but I need to know the business. So... I was doing one of my infamous online trainings, and they was like, well, yeah, if you're going to be a brand or a business, you have to have a blog. Everyone has one. Every business has a blog. And I'm like, oh, so I got to do that? So I started immersing myself in that, and then I just started getting into it, and then eventually, like, it was easy. Overhead for a blog is so easy. It don't take much. So that kind of just took off. Like, oh, okay, well, I could definitely do this. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm still learning about fashion and stuff like that. I could be talking about fashion regularly. Yeah. So that's how it kind of came. It was like, oh, you got to get a blog. Oh, okay, well, I'll get one. And just been, ever since, it's been consistent with that. I'm still doing everything else, but it's still, I feel like that's almost further off than me and my whole personal styling thing. That's something that probably is a little bit further along.
Okay. What is the last good runway or collection, right? Mm-hmm. That you've seen that you were like, damn, bitch. Like that had you speechless, maybe.
Oh, who had me speechless for the last collection?
So the girls can know what to look forward to in 2020.
Oh, right.
Or 2021. That's what we'll like finally like.
Right.
Give it.
One of the ones probably. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say Balmain. Balmain gets me.
Which collection was it?
It was the spring summer 2009. So spring summer 2019. So it was in the fall when they showed it. Don't get confused like on charade.
Right. Spring, summer, joggers.
Right.
Yes, joggers. Yes.
In the fall.
In the fall. Okay, girl.
Right.
And so what was it about that specific collection that made you like get it, feel it?
Well, I love sparkle. So it definitely had the sparkling elements, the whole black and white. I love black and white. It had the sparkling elements, and I felt like it was very sexy for men and women. Yeah. And that's the other thing I like. He has the girls and the guys come down together, so it's not separate. So you get to see like the guys coming down looking good and sexy. You get to see the girls coming down looking good and sexy, and it was shorts, dresses, all kinds of for the guys muscle shirts, like all different kind of not wife beaters. They don't call them that, but
the muscle tees.
Muscle tees. We call muscle tees.
Yeah, because people ain't got no muscles, they still wear them, but it's okay. So let's say my producer Cam is in the building. And let's say he came to you and was like, I need a personal stylist. Mm-hmm. What is the first thing that you would talk to him about to try to like get a sense of the styling, get a sense of color schemes, get a sense of who he is to like style him?
I think it's one of the main things I would probably do is ask like who are people that stands out to him that maybe are celebrity or are famous. Like if you like, just tell me some people that you see that's famous on TV or anybody that you can just point out. Tell me people that stands out to you that you say when you look at them, like, oh, I like that. I would wear something like that. And then we can kind of just build off that.
Okay.
So influence is a big thing.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, when you see people, I think everybody, when they see certain people or they see, people that they have somebody has something that they like or has something that, they will wear, they pay attention. So I think it's good to ask somebody, well, who stands out to you?
So Issa Rae does this thing, and I think I mentioned this on a previous episode, but we'll do it today too. So Issa Rae was talking about how she doesn't really like to, her focus isn't always like reaching up towards people, but reaching around the people that are around her, so we can all build up. Who are people that you reach around so that everyone can build up in your circle?
That's a great question, and that's actually...
Girl, you are just giving me so much life with these. Like, that's a good question. I want to thank you so much, girl.
You're very welcome. Honestly, that's something... Networking and stuff is actually an area of opportunity for me, because I am an only child. I am used to working in my own spaces, and it's like I don't probably network out enough, or I don't... of course I have my best friend, my fellow or co-host of What Works For Us. I have him, so me and him go back and forth a lot about stuff, but I don't have, like, other people. It's like, of course, Austin, it's everybody. I always say movers and shakers. A lot of people in Austin are movers and shakers, but do I reach out to them or try to collaborate, do things like this like I should? Probably not, but I think it's it's not anything against them or anybody. It's more so me. Like, I just need to make sure my, SHIT. Can we cuss on here?
Girl, I cuss all the time.
Oh, well, shit. Make sure my shit,
Yes.
make sure my shit is together before I go to somebody else and try to collaborate. And it's like, oh, okay, especially if I feel like they're well established, I'm coming in and my shit is only half-assed.
Yeah.
I just don't believe in that. So confidence in myself is something I'm working on. So I can network with other people. That's an area of opportunity. Actually, I need to start reaching out and creating that web of people so we can move up. Especially here in Austin.
Right. I think a lot of people are doing some stuff here in Austin. So
yeah, they are.
And I only know this because I know Eric personally. Eric is definitely in the mix and knows a lot of these movers and shakers. So I don't want people thinking like you really don't know anybody. Girl, that's not it.
No.
But recognizing like there are areas of opportunity to take advantage of those opportunities. Absolutely. I think is dope. So I do want to talk about what works for us. Mm-hmm. So. What made you want to become a podcaster?
It was a conversation that Mr. Telltales.
Yeah, come on now, Mr. Telltales.
It's a conversation that we had. It was more so, we were just talking about how gay culture, period. It's, so many people exploit it in a way, if you will, or they use it or utilize it, especially in no shade to any women that's watching, but you have the Housewives of Atlanta, you have the Married to Medicine, you have these shows who you see these women and
commodify it,
they modify it and they use it to their advantage, and I feel like us, the gays, the people that they get this from, they're all in the background. Like these people that they be,
and we're specifically, I want to say, and not speaking for you, but black queer culture.
Yeah, black queer culture.
Because the white gays, they come and exploit it too.
No, that's true.
And they get into their homegirls, and they have a black woman trapped inside of them. They say.
See,
but you didn't hear that from me,
right? You're 1,000% right. It is black queer culture. It is, and it's. I feel like we're just us, the creators, or the people behind the. We're behind the scenes. Like, I be looking at some of their Instagrams and stuff, and the people that they say they hang out with, and I see how they act. I'm like, oh, they act like this person, but who is this person?
Right?
Who are they? But they're producers or they're stylists, they're hairdressers, they're all these people, but we don't know who they are.
The creators behind the scenes.
The creators behind the scenes. So we felt like it's time for us to take control of our culture and us start throwing ourselves out there. Like, okay, no, we're the black gay boy queers that are, that all these people are influenced by, and it's time for us to shine, and it's time for us to start having a seat, not necessarily having a seat at the table,
having our own table,
exactly. So that's what it was. We just wanted to be able to shine a light on ourselves and our own culture, pretty much.
Okay. And what would be something that you would tell a young creative that's coming up, a piece of advice that you would give to them?
I would say whatever it is that you feel like that gut feeling of what it is that you want to do, however you want to immerse yourself in the creative space, to just stick with it and just go for what you know and don't never stop. Because I know for me, and don't let a lot of people on the outside influence your thought processes or what you want to do or take you off a track of what you're trying to do. Because I know for me, when I was younger, and no shade to anybody, family or anybody that was close to me, I just didn't feel supported in what I wanted to do. I felt like, they was like, oh, you wanna do fashion?
Yeah,
like,
okay, good. Well, good luck.
Right, that type of thing. And it's like, and I felt that affected me, I think, in a lot of ways, where it took me when I got older, where I was really like, I don't give a fuck. Really, I really don't give a fuck what you think or what you talking about. You don't know you don't know what I'm trying to do. You can't see what they always say. You don't know my vision because you don't see, it wasn't given to you.
Right.
You can't see how I see it because it's not given to you. It was given to me. So it's for me to execute, not you. Right. It's for me to
come
figure
on
out,
now with the word, bitch.
So,
girl, the episode ain't coming out on Sunday, but bitch, you just took us to church. So we always do this. I want to thank you so much for coming to talk to us today.
Thank you for having me.
And I just want to tell stories. But we do this thing, top 5, and I give you a random category, and I already know what category I'm going to give you.
Oh,
are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. In no specific order. Top 5 category is supermodels. Go.
Oh, easy. Naomi Campbell, Linda Evangelista, Claudia Schiffer, Iman, and It's somebody I don't know if I want to give it to. I'm gonna give it to Tyra.
Okay.
I'll give it to Tyra.
Okay, come on now with the 3 black queens. All right.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
To all of our listeners and the watchers, we appreciate you. Until next episode, love and light. Bye.
Bye.
I Just Want to Tell Stories is hosted by Joe Anderson Jr. for the Mahogany Project and produced by Cameron Hawkins for the South Congress Podcast Network.